There is a moment almost every man has experienced but never fully understood. A moment that feels confusing, humiliating, and impossibly unfair. Everything seems to be going well with a woman. Conversations feel alive. She laughs. She compliments you. You feel the connection building. You start imagining where this might go. You start giving more of yourself because you finally feel like this could be something real. And then it happens. A shift that is so fast you barely notice it. Her tone becomes flat. Her replies become short. Her eyes stop lighting up when she looks at you. The warmth disappears. The glow fades. The energy that once pulled her toward you now pulls her away. She does not argue. She does not explain. She simply loses something. And you do not know what you did wrong. You do not know what changed. You do not know why the air between you suddenly feels different. You just feel it, that sinking cold collapse in your chest. This is what people call the instant ick. But for men, it does not feel instant. It feels like being punished for something you never even saw yourself doing. It feels like stepping into a moment where your masculinity suddenly becomes invisible. I am going to tell you something most men never hear. The ick is not random. It is not mysterious. It is not about your looks or height or money. It is the female nervous system responding to a specific psychological shift in you. A shift that happens when your energy changes from grounded masculine presence to subtle self-abandonment. The ick is not about disgust. It is about her losing trust in your emotional strength. And once that trust breaks, attraction collapses instantly. But here is the part that hurts the most. You do not even notice when you are doing the thing that triggers it. So let us go deep into the psychology behind the instant ick, and let us talk directly to you. The man who is tired of feeling confused, tired of feeling rejected, and tired of losing women for reasons that feel invisible. You deserve clarity. You deserve self-understanding. You deserve to know what is actually happening beneath the surface. Before we go further, I want you to pause this for 1 second and write a comment to anchor yourself in the conversation. Right. I choose grounded presence. That anchor alone will help you absorb what you are about to hear. And if this is already hitting something inside you, subscribe. Because the content on this channel is designed for men who are ready to transform, not perform. Now let us get into the truth almost no one tells men. The first psychological trigger behind the ick is a sudden shift in polarity. This happens when you stop being the man who leads his energy and start becoming the man who reacts to hers. It can be subtle. She pulls back slightly. You feel that pullback and immediately lean forward. She goes a little quiet. You panic and start talking more. She slows down her attention. You speed up yours. To her nervous system, this is a collapse in masculine presence. Masculine energy is felt when a man remains centered, regardless of external shifts. When she feels you chasing her emotional temperature rather than holding your own, her subconscious sends a signal. This man cannot hold me. And attraction flips into discomfort. This discomfort is not conscious. She cannot explain it. She cannot point to it. She can only feel that something in your energy softened in a way that feels unsafe. That is why she calls it the ick, because the word unsafe feels too strong. But that is what it is. It is not physical danger. It is emotional instability. Women lose attraction not when you care, but when you collapse. Not when you move closer, but when you move from fear. Not when you show emotion, but when your emotion is unregulated. And the tragedy is that most men do not collapse because they are weak. They collapse because they start caring. They collapse because she matters. They collapse because they begin to fear losing her. And fear always shifts your energy. The second psychological trigger behind the ick is approval-seeking micro-behaviors. You do not notice these because they are subtle, but her nervous system catches them instantly. Examples: you wait for her reaction before finishing your sentence. You laugh at things that are not funny just to keep things smooth. You adjust your tone to avoid any disagreement. You soften your posture the moment she shows discomfort. You overcompliment because you fear you are not enough. Each of these broadcasts one message: my value depends on your response. When a woman feels this, attraction dies because biology interprets you as someone who cannot lead emotionally. A man who overly adapts to her mood feels like a man who is not anchored. She does not want a man who performs the idea of confidence. She wants a man who trusts himself so deeply that he does not fold under emotional pressure. The third psychological trigger behind the ick is what I call the identity slip. This is when you stop being the man you are and start being the man you think she wants. You shift your opinions. You soften your edges. You exaggerate your interest. You mirror her too much. You abandon parts of yourself to maintain harmony. In her mind, this does not read as kindness. It reads as inconsistency, and inconsistency feels unsafe. A woman can sense when you are no longer speaking from your core. She can sense when you are drifting away from yourself. She can feel when you are performing a version of masculinity rather than expressing it. This is the moment she loses respect before she loses attraction. Respect collapses first. Attraction collapses next. Connection collapses last. Now let us go deeper. The fourth psychological trigger is unresolved boyhood fear. This is the internal wound that makes you react too much, try too hard, or care too fast. Every man has wounds from childhood, moments where emotional rejection shaped our behavior. If you grew up without consistent validation, you learn to chase it. If you grew up with unpredictable affection, you learn to monitor every shift in the people you care about. If you grew up fearing abandonment, you learn to shape shift to avoid conflict. These patterns do not disappear when you grow older. They simply become adult behaviors that women interpret as insecurity. And insecurity is the foundation of the ick. Women are not repelled by your vulnerability. They are repelled by your self-betrayal. They are repelled by the moment you stop being grounded in yourself. Now here is the part you need to hear. The ick is not about perfection. It is about emotional congruence. Women do not need you to be emotionally cold. They need you to be emotionally responsible. They need you to feel your emotions without collapsing into them. They need you to want them without needing them. They need you to pursue without chasing. They need you to express interest without losing your sense of self. The fifth psychological trigger behind the ick is masculine inconsistency. This happens when you start strong but cannot sustain the energy. You show confidence one day and anxiety the next. You show presence early and panic later. You show certainty at the start and self-doubt once you get attached. Women do not fall for the man you pretend to be. They fall for the man you consistently are. If your confidence disappears the moment she likes you, she interprets that as emotional instability. And instability collapses attraction instantly. Now let us talk about the final core trigger behind the ick. You abandon your mission the moment she appears. A man without direction becomes reactive. A reactive man becomes insecure. An insecure man becomes unattractive. When your world suddenly revolves around her, she feels pressure, not passion. She feels responsibility, not romance. She feels your need, not your presence. And her subconscious pulls away because she cannot respect a man who loses himself in a woman. So what is the solution? How does a man avoid triggering the ick? How do you show interest without collapsing? How do you stay connected without losing yourself? There are 3 steps. Step 1. Return to your body before you act. When you feel anxiety rise, do not chase clarity from her. Chase stability inside yourself. Breathe slowly. Drop your shoulders. Let the emotion pass through without reacting to it. Your nervous system must lead the interaction, not follow it. Step 2. Stop monitoring her and start monitoring yourself. Do not watch for changes in her tone. Watch for changes in your behaviors. Do not adjust to keep her comfortable. Adjust to keep yourself grounded. Your job is not to keep the connection smooth. Your job is to stay in your center. Step 3. Detach from outcomes and return to standards. Stop asking, does she like me? Start asking, do I like how I am showing up? Standards rebuild masculine energy. Outcomes destroy it. If you follow these 3 steps, you will not only avoid triggering the ick, you will become the type of man who does not fear it. Because your presence will not depend on her reactions. Your energy will not collapse when she pulls back. Your value will not fluctuate based on her attention. You will become the man women feel safe around. You will become the man women respect. You will become the man women lean toward instead of away from. You will become the man who no longer triggers the ick, but the opposite. The man who activates a woman's instinct to open. Because when you remain grounded, she remains drawn. When you remain steady, she remains curious. When you remain present, she remains connected. The ick is not a curse. It is a signal telling you exactly where your growth is. Follow that signal, and you will transform into the version of yourself you were always meant to become.